Welcome, family, to the So Us Show. Today we're going over the introduction. Won't hold you long. Throughout history, Jews have faced charges of economic exploitation of Gentile communities around the world. Indeed, no single group of people. Wait a minute. Okay, I just had to make sure I was on there. No single group of people has faced blanket expulsion in so many places around the world as frequently as have the Jews. The pattern and the charges are familiar. Monopolization, usury, sharp practices, selling of cheap goods, frequent bankruptcies, and so on. All such claims seem to preface the expulsion orders and are vigorously denied both by those charged and by the Jewish writers of history. But this is not the only charge that is made against Jews. Jews have been conclusively linked to the greatest criminal endeavor ever undertaken against an entire race of people, a crime against humanity, the Black African Holocaust. They were participants in the kidnapping and forcible exportation of millions of Black African citizens into a wretched and inhuman life of bondage for the financial benefit of Jews. The effects of this unspeakable tragedy are still being felt among the peoples of the world at this very hour. Deep within the recesses of the Jewish historical record is the irrefutable evidence that the most prominent of the Jewish pilgrim fathers used kidnapped Black Africans disproportionately more than any other ethnic or religious group in New World history, and participated in every aspect of the international slave trade. The immense wealth of Jews, as with most of the white colonial fathers, was acquired by the brutal subjugation of Black Africans purely on the basis of skin color, a concept unfamiliar to Moses, now compiled for the first time. The Jewish sources reveal the extent of their complexity in Black slavery in the most graphic of terms. With that stated, family, we're going to go on and give y'all a metro. Be right back. And we're back, family. Until now, the facts therein were known only to a few. Most have always assumed that the relationship between Blacks and Jews has been maturely supportive, friendly, and fruitful. Two suffering people bonding to overcome hatred and bigotry to achieve success. But history tells an altogether different story. This report will focus on the hidden history of Blacks and Jews from the Jewish historical record. Rabbi Henry Cohen, author of the book Justice, Justice, makes a telling point. The parallels between the Nazi terror and the American slave trade are more startling than we may realize. When Negroes were brought from the heart of Africa to the American South, 1/3 died en route to the African coast, and 1/3 died in the suffocating prisons on board ship. Once here, families were purposely broken up, husbands, wives, and children forced to go their separate ways. Must we be reminded of the death toll in the suffocating boxcars bound for Auschwitz, or of the tearing of children from their mother's arms? The tearing of children from their mother's arms. Furthermore, in Roberta Strauss Farjalitz's The Fate of the Jews, I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher a lot of these Jewish names because I've never really heard them but once or twice by reading this book. The Fate of the Jews, a people torn between Israeli power and Jewish ethics. She confronts the reality of her people's Western development. Whether so many Southern Jews would have achieved so high a level of social, political, economic, and intellectual status and recognition without the presence of the lowly and degraded slave is indeed dubious. How ironic that the distinctions bestowed upon Jewish men, like Judah P. Benjamin, were in some measure dependent upon the sufferings of the Negro slaves they bought and sold with such equanimity. It is a relationship that is not fully known, one that needs further analysis. Hidden and misunderstood, it is indeed time to reopen the files, to review and consider the secret relationship between Blacks and Jews. All right there, family. And with that being stated, I hope you got something out of it. We'll be coming back next time with more. Until then, keep your heads up, stay focused, and read. Peace.